Hey, man, I'm fully caffeinated, dialed in nootropics, ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
You know what kind of caffeine I'm taking in right now?
What kind of caffeine are you
The
sipping
best caffeine.
Definitely not a Red Bull, right?
Definitely not a Red Bull. Not a Red Bull in my hand, nor is it that telephone that is ringing. Brother.
What is it?
I got some Chimera coffee.
Ooh.
The sweetest Dominican juice, the brown juice. No, no, that's
the brown juice.
No, the brown juice. Let's give it a new nickname. Let's give it the Black Diamond. The Black Diamond juice. You like where I'm going there?
I like that.
We're going to go there. Black Diamond juice?
Okay. Black Diamond juice.
The diamond juice.
Okay. I don't know where you're running with this, but I'm going with it.
I have no idea where we're going, but I like it.
Okay. How do you save money buying this Black Diamond juice?
Fortunately for us, we saved 10% on that diamond juice, brother. 10%.
Let me guess. The coupon code is simply show the art.
Yep. Simply. Without the simply. Just show the art.
Good guess, right?
Yeah.
I'm a good guesser.
You're a good guesser.
They used to call me the guesser in
the guess man.
In like middle school.
The guess man. Now because you used to wear all Guess jeans.
I mean, maybe that too.
Probably that.
Because I was a G even in the third grade.
On that note, guys, save 10% by typing the code show the art at Chimera Coffee. Cop it. We could do better than that.
Yeah.
You know, we could always do better than that. Let's
I thought you meant the commercial.
No. He said, yeah. What's 10 plus 5?
15?
15%, guys. You save 15% off inverted gear.
Okay.
The dopest, flyest, freshest gear in the game. In the game.
Go to invertedgear.com, type in the coupon code show the art 15.
15, baby.
And save 15% off all your jiu-jitsu needs.
All your sweet threads, guys.
Yeah. And our last sponsor, you'll simply save 20% if you go to his website and buy his stuff. M85.com. Type in the coupon code STA20. Get 20%.
Do yourself a favor, man.
Yeah, and we'll send you off to our beautiful music.
You're welcome. Yo, what is going on, people? You're listening to the Show the Art podcast.
Okay.
We're your hosts, fresh off an exciting
weekend,
a crazy weekend, man. A lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
Abe, I am Ames, your
Yes.
co-host alongside my boy Abe.
I'm good, man.
What's
Thanks
good,
for
man?
asking.
I'm perfect.
I'm pepped up. I'm ready to go.
Pepped up. Damn, I
How
never
you doing,
heard that
man?
one before.
Okay, let's start this thing off with a straight jab right to the face.
I'm pepped up and ready to go, brother.
Hot damn.
Hot take. So, let's get right into it, man.
All
UFC 210, I believe.
So you don't know. You're going to start this podcast and you don't even know. You're not even sure.
No, it's just the way to make conversation.
Okay.
I'm trying to throw you in.
You're trying.
You know what I mean? Throwing you a line. Like,
yeah,
yo,
you're right. Like
210.
I got to confirm
man.
it.
Like, yeah, 210,
Hell
brother.
yeah.
Great weekend. I'm
Yeah.
pepped up, ready to go.
Oh, 210. That's my
Look,
favorite
yeah.
number. Actually, 21 is, but you add the zeros. 210, same thing.
210, same shit.
UFC.
Let's go, bruh.
Hey, you train UFC, man?
Yeah, man. Give me a little few brewskis and let's watch some UFC.
Yeah, because it's real. WWE is fake.
Yeah, let me get my Affliction shirt. Show that.
Did you know that Affliction is now sponsoring WWE?
No, they're not. Get that. It's Tap Out.
No.
No.
Affliction has moved on.
Brother,
to the
I know my wrestling. Don't test me. It's Tap Out.
Seriously?
Yes.
No. Seriously?
No, seriously. It's Tap Out.
No.
Yeah, I
I was making a joke.
Oh, me too. I wasn't serious.
Okay. Isn't Brock Lesnar sponsored by Affliction?
He probably is, and I will never make fun of Affliction if he's right in front of my face.
So speaking of that, I have a friend that's in the fashion industry.
Okay.
And he will remain nameless.
The WWE fashion?
No, just fashion in general, like New York fashion.
He's like a fashionista.
No, he just works for a fashion company.
Okay, cool.
Definitely not a fashionista. Anyway, he was saying that Affliction went from. There's a reason why Affliction. We don't hear about them anymore.
Okay.
It's because they sold out.
Oh.
They were in Marshall stores everywhere. So,
damn.
if you're trying to be hip, if you're trying to be up on it with the youth, you're trying to appeal to the masses.
Yeah.
Don't sell your shit at Marshall's.
Damn, that's crazy. Marshall's. Affliction.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So if you're trying to start the next big MMA company, clothing company,
You don't want to be.
don't sell out to Marshall's.
Yeah. And don't throw a banana in my face while you're talking like Abe is right now.
Don't
It's
sell
like he's
out.
shooting me with this banana. Yeah.
Say
Hold
hello.
all the jokes. He's literally
Not
has
my
banana. Not his banana.
Like an actual yellow banana that people eat.
Whatever you want to call it.
Did you know
man.
monkeys don't actually eat bananas? I
They
think they
don't?
do.
I think they
Not
do.
all of them, but it's not like their main food. It's not
Here's
like
a funner fact. They eat the banana the other way around.
Yeah.
You know how like this.
yeah. No, I eat it that way too.
Oh,
'Cause that's the proper
My bad,
way.
chimpanzee. My
Yeah.
bad, Planet of the
I
Apes.
s-
Fucking Caesar
I
over
saw-
here.
Caesar.
No.
That speaking of Planet of the Apes, that new one looks really good.
I've loved every single movie.
Like, of the new
Yeah,
series,
the
yeah.
new series. It's dope, man.
Oh my god,
They're all been good.
dude! The
I'm
new
really
one,
excited.
everyone speaks.
Yeah.
and it's. I feel like the new one is leading into that Marky Mark movie, the Marky Mark
Transformers?
Planet of the Apes. You didn't
Oh,
remember?
No, I don't remember
I
that.
think it was just called Planet of the Apes, and Marky Mark was in it. He was.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
old one.
The old
I thought
one,
he's
yeah.
coming out with it. I'm like Mark and Mark.
No. I think like the timeline essentially.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Sorry, Mark and Mark. I mean Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think not that this is like the same universe,
But
the same
this is
planet.
where it kind of leads up to.
I think so, like that
it could
timeline.
Be. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it, just from the previews, it looks like that would be because the Mark Wahlberg one,
Yeah.
they took over already,
Yeah.
and he got sent to a different galaxy by accident, black hole shit, and he wound up being there.
I think I enjoy that one too.
That one was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know-
Maybe I'm gonna watch all the old ones too. No, I'm not.
I didn't watch the old
Who am I
ones.
kidding?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch that.
I tried to watch one of the old ones.
Yeah.
I'm just from the. I'm from
It
the
takes-
90s.
It takes
It's
a
too
lot
hard.
for me to watch like really old movies.
Trust
Like
me,
I bet like Singing in the Rain or Casablanca or Abe Just Spilled Coffee all over his laptop
Keep talking.
is probably good, but I just can't seem to get myself to watch those movies.
Me either. Black and whites and
Yeah, black and whites and grays and let me do a play by play.
and melancholy.
He just picked up a paper towel that nice and easy. He's gonna sweep up all this coffee. You should have seen his face. It looked like he just what's the word?
Shout out to the person making my coffee this morning. That
Where'd you get
didn't
your coffee
put
from?
the lid on all the way.
Oh, that
You
sucks. You son of a bitch.
I don't want to say who it was or where it
See,
was.
you know what happens? That's what you get when you don't get Chimera coffee, man. That's what you get.
Absolutely right.
That's what you get, man. So I don't feel bad. This is kind of karma.
This is karma.
This is Chimera coming back at you. You see what I did there?
This is chimera karma.
Hashtag shameless plug. But we're supposed to get into it, but let's get into UFC 210, man, because that was a really dope. That was a really dope card, and they almost bust his ass as he's getting back to his seat. But 210 was a crazy dope card. What were your thoughts on it?
Be more specific with your question.
Takeaways. What were your takeaways from 210?
Okay. I thought it proved that you don't need to be Conor McGregor to the UFC. Sorry, let me rephrase that answer. The UFC doesn't need a big Conor McGregor talk shit star to have a big, exciting, sold out event.
True.
To have really good fights.
That's true.
And it shows again that the UFC has become so popular, especially over boxing, because they can have an exciting headline card that everybody's excited to watch, that everybody buys the pay-per-view for.
Yep.
And then 4 or 5 more super exciting fights.
Pack it with dope ass fights.
Packed.
And that's why boxing, I believe, is losing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because UFC is just one thing I give them is they're doing a great job with packing up these cards. You know,
That's it.
like even through injuries and all this stuff. But you know, you got to take the good, like packing up these cards, or having a lot of fighters, with the bad, meaning like you get UFC fighters that are like 3-0 or blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, the reason behind that, and I started to try to make sense of that lately. Why is it that there's a lot of inexperienced fighters in the UFC now? You know, where professional record is under 5 fights. Let's say whatever the record is. Well. And then back in the day, you couldn't get into the UFC unless you had like 12-1 record.
An impressive record, yeah.
I think it's because now they've become a league. There's so many UFC events that they can afford to have more people now.
And they need more.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why they have some cards on, let's say, FS1 that are packed with guys you don't really know yet.
You're trying to get recognized. Yeah.
So it's almost like a D league within the major leagues.
Yeah.
But it's the same league. So I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I have absolutely no problem with it, because then you get to see them rise from whatever they are now into becoming the next like John Jones, into the next Jacare, or the next like, I was gonna say Chris Weidman, but we'll get to that later. But man, it was a great card, man. Overall, like great. From who was the first fight? It was Will Brooks versus Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Oh, that guillotine, man.
Oh man. What were your thoughts on Will Brooks? Because it seemed like he just got shocked as soon as the fight started. You know, it was like a slow start, but the worst case scenario when you start slow.
Worst case, it just seemed like Charles Oliveira seemed so calm, and he just seemed calm, and he knew what he was doing. He knew where it was gonna go, and he kind of put his game on.
Yes.
Well, Will Brooks, like, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready for that,
man.
He was. I guess it's one of those cases where Will Brooks was like, all right, I'm gonna start slow, pick it up, or he just. Sometimes you need to get punched in the face to get started.
You do.
And Oliveira was like, no, this is my fight. I'm going to enforce my game once the bell rings.
Did, and he enforced it real well. Yeah, man. That was a great point. A lot of people start off slow. Some people are slow starters, where, like in football, you just need that first hit to kind of get you feeling like, okay, game time, we're good to go.
Yeah.
But Charles said, Once you got hit, he just said, I'm not letting you get back up.
Yeah. And I like what he did is he enforced the game plan that worked the last time against Will Brooks, against Cowboy, the Brazilian Cowboy.
Yes. Okay.
Wrestling. He tried to wrestle the wrestler. Yeah. Will Brooks is a great wrestler. I mean, the guy's shredded. Look at him. He's a specimen.
You're right. When I saw him, like, yep, Abe was right. He is a specimen.
He's one of the most proportioned guys in the UFC, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I was not wary or afraid. I don't know what's the word, but like because I didn't realize Charles Oliveira was going back up in weight, right? So he's going against Will Brooks, a wrestler, bigger. I thought Will Brooks, Will Brooks might put him to work. Yeah. He might be taking him for a few rides.
Yeah, a few tailspins.
Up in that roller coaster.
But no, I mean, Oliveira proved that he's just a really good fighter.
He is, man.
And at those weight classes, it's so close. Yeah. You just need to be the right height, and you're good.
Yeah. Charles Oliveira does what I want to see now after this fight is, can he beat one of those upper echelon fighters? Because he usually has trouble. Not usually. He does have trouble against the upper echelon fighters.
True.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, he lost to Anthony Pettis in his last fight. Before that, who did he lose to?
I forget.
He got guillotined twice in a row, I believe.
Yeah. I forgot who the other guy was, but I remember Anthony Pettis
beat him.
Put him in that guillotine.
Now, maybe that's it. Maybe he was cutting too much weight at 145, and now at 155, he's just going to be energetic.
I hope
Here's another thing. He's young.
Yeah.
I just need to get – it's not your time yet. You just need to let it run its course, get back on the win column, which he did impressively.
That's true.
The way he wanted to, which is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And, you need that spark again.
Yeah, when he's on, man, he's so impressive. Well, his jiu-jitsu was beautiful, man. He's just he's a great fighter to watch. Like, he's one of those guys that I root for. Like Anthony Rumble Johnson, Cerrone, I want him to get that title shot. And it'd be nice to see him. Because we've seen him, I think he came into the UFC, he was 19. He was super young. He's still young right now, but you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Yeah, I wish the best for him.
What do you think went wrong? Because granted, Will Brooks started slow, and then Charles Oliveira got him down.
Yeah.
Now, where do you think it went wrong from there? Once a guy takes you down, all right, you're back. You're in the fight now.
Yeah. I think his jiu-jitsu, his grappling would just
Will Brooks.
Yeah, overpowered or was too much for Will Brooks.
Yeah.
Just like in that let's move on or to that female. I forgot their names. Help me out over here. The next match.
Oh, the next match. Match. Cynthia versus Pearl.
Yeah, Cynthia just looks super.
Calvillo?
Yeah, there you go. Pearl Gonzalez.
Yes,
I believe. Yeah. So it just seemed like Cynthia just seemed calm everywhere she was, whether it would stand up when she was throwing, even though I think it was Dominic Cruz saying she's not landing a lot, but man, she looked super comfortable, fluid.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't throwing like
Haymakers.
stiff shots.
Yeah.
She was like pity patting, like kind of tapping her up, and then she would get through it once in a while. She just looked good, man.
Yeah,
and when
man.
they took it to the ground, you saw what happened.
She outclassed Pearl Gonzalez. But what I liked what Pearl Gonzalez did in the first round.
Okay.
She put her hands up.
Yeah.
She did what we call monkey blocking, which is you grab the top of your head, and she just focused on blocking all the shots, and that was really interesting because that doesn't normally happen in the UFC. Someone's moving forward, and like straight punch blocking and moving forward and blocking, and then throwing a jab and then moving forward and blocking. Normally we move back and block, or normally we see people move back and block shots because they're taking too many and they're scared.
Okay,
but I like that she was moving forward and blocking because now. That could do a couple of different things. It could get the person tired.
Yeah.
And another thing, it could throw them off from their game plan. Like, if your game plan is just straight shots, pick them apart, and you know that that's their game plan, you block all their shots and you don't even try to punch. Now they're going to second guess. All right, maybe I should start throwing body kicks and leg kicks because they're open.
Yeah.
But if you're not a body kicker and a leg kicker, now I'll have the advantage.
It's true.
So I thought that was an interesting strategy.
And it looked like towards the end, was it that where did she finish her off in the second or third round?
Third, last round.
In the third, you could see she was starting to wilt. She wasn't as energetic. Of course, with all that volume that she was throwing, she didn't. But it just Cynthia had an answer for everything.
Yeah, especially on the ground.
Yeah, anything Pearl had, Cynthia had an answer. When she was on the bottom, when she was close to getting armbarred, she just looked super relaxed, knew what to do, and then Pearl was just holding on for dear life. You see in like jiu-jitsu on the mats, like they're holding on to position where they should let go and kind of get into something else where they defend.
But granted, I want to give Pearl Gonzalez a lot of respect because she got caught with an RNC, right?
Yeah.
But she escaped already one or two in the match.
Yeah.
And she escaped a couple different submission attempts
I think
nicely.
The first round, the bell rung. She was saved by the bell.
Okay, but she was defending.
Yes, she was.
There's a difference between defending properly and the person not being able to submit you and them squeezing your neck in the bell and the time runs out. So, I believe that she has skills. She has talent. And she was doing a great job. A couple times she got her back taken, and she defended nicely.
True.
And I respect her. And she got a nice takedown, landed and mount. She did a good job on the ground. She just, there's some little errors that
Needs to fix
part
up.
of it she couldn't get out of the bottom.
Yeah.
She kept trying to explode out, and she was exposing her back. Unfortunately, Cynthia's really good at staying like glue, being sticky and taking the back from the mount. Pearl Gonzalez, she just maybe needed to go to quarter guard, half guard, and then start pummeling in from there, getting to your knees, things like that.
The beautiful thing is now you see that. Now you know how to polish your game up. See, it's a great way. Like you compete, you see where your flaws, your weaknesses are, and then you go back to work, and then you finish. You fix those things up. So
for sure,
props to her. Cool side note is that we messaged Boogie Martinez to get him on. To talk about the post fight, and then he replied back, "Oh, I'm gonna be in Buffalo." This is 2 weeks ago. I'm like, Buffalo? What's in Buffalo? I thought he was gonna give a seminar, and now I realize that he was over there in Cynthia's corner, which is pretty cool. So, shout out to Boogie and your team, man.
Yeah, you did a good job, and she's a good fighter. She's just
was Bulk Holtz was at her corner. I forgot who was her
behind Cynthia.
Yeah,
and it's just one of those things. They're young fighters.
Yeah,
they have a long ways to go. No one's saying that Cynthia can fight Joanna next and do well. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be. You just had a handful of fights. She's on the right track.
Yeah.
Let's put it. Both girls are on the right track.
You know what else on the right track? Women's MMA.
Oh yeah.
The evolution, man.
Oh yeah.
Man, it is fun to watch.
I mean, think of next weekend. We have Andrade versus Joanna.
Oh, that's another great
fight.
card.
That's a beautiful fight.
Man. That's gonna be fun.
I mean, that card is that fight. It's the pound for pound number 1 fighter, probably pound for pound number 2 fighter all time, Demetrius Johnson versus Wilson Heath, who's an animal
It's gonna be fun.
Jiu-jitsu is amazing for MMA. And the question is, can he take advantage of the holes that were pointed out in Demetrius Johnson's last fight on the ground?
That's gonna be.
We shall see.
That's gonna be an interesting part.
And then probably my favorite fight of that card, Jacare Souza versus Robert Whittaker.
That's gonna be nerve-wracking.
The Aussie.
Yeah. We'll get into that one, but next one I think on the card was Thiago Alves versus Patrick. Yo, Thiago's back, man.
Dude. Thiago Alves was one of my favorite fighters when he first came on the scene. And I just really liked him, all the way up until he fought UFC 100 GSP. Yeah.
Things took a turn from that point,
right?
It seemed like it, right?
Yeah, it definitely did. And I know he was suffering from a lot of injuries after that. But now he's back. And then his last fight, he tried to drop to 155.
No.
That didn't work out so well.
No bueno.
He fought Jim Miller. Jim Miller just, kind of got the better of him.
Yeah.
But now he's back 170.
He looked good, man.
Classic.
Oh,
Classic.
He looked good.
It's funny because watching him, it made me think of Thiago Alves of old.
Yes.
Thiago Alves, the original Thiago Alves, is
a buzzsaw.
Is Jose Aldo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The original Thiago Alves is Edson Barboza.
That is...
Dude,
well done.
Right?
Well done, man.
It's the classic power leg kicker, good in combinations, and keeps his hands high, really tight boxing.
Reaction.
Oh
man, my God. It was beautiful,
and it's
man.
powerful. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
His counters he caught Cote with.
Yeah, he was dropping Cote. And what I liked, too, is he was taking punches. He was able to, his chin was holding up.
No problem.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see him back, and not only did we get one, but we got 2 retirements.
Yeah. The irony of it was right after that fight, I'm just watching Cote's mannerisms. No lie, no joke. I'm not just saying this.
Okay.
I turn to Sarah and I'm like, I think he should retire.
Oh, shoot.
I swear to God.
Good call.
Before he said anything on the mic, I just got that feeling, that gut feeling. I was like, I think he should retire. I just don't feel like he's into it, just the way his last fights have been going. He's been fighting for so long. And then sure enough, I was right.
Yeah, you're right. Pat yourself on the back. You
this
deserve
is the
that
second
one.
time this is the second time in a row that I called a retirement.
Who's the first one?
Misha.
Oh, yeah.
Right after the Misha fight, I turned around, I'm like, she's going to retire.
And
And she did.
She did. Damn,
Who's the king of calling retirements?
Damn, you could call me. Killing it right now.
Ape Stradamus. And it's not my fault, the Anthony Johnson thing. You just can't predict that.
Yeah, you can't. That was unexpected.
Yeah, very
So
unexpected.
let's speed through. Oh,
unexpected.
I don't want to speed through this one. Mousasi,
Weidman.
Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Go over the fight real quick. What happened?
So
First round,
Chris Weidman takes him down like countless times. He still gets back up. They have a few scrambles. One beautiful scramble towards like the end where it reversed into like I think he had him. Chris Weidman had the
Mousasi.
mount, had Mousasi on. He had him on the mount. And then he reversed it. I forgot what happened to. He turtled up and then got out of it, and then back to mount, and then they got back up. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't get to watch the replay either.
Yeah,
but it was fun. There
was a bunch of great scrambles. The weird thing was they both looked tired at the end of the first round. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
especially Weidman though.
Yeah,
to me,
Mousasi talked about it at the post-fight interview. Right after that, so that's a first round. You could tell Mousasi was picking it up from those 2 takedowns because he was like going right at Weidman. I don't know whether it was towards the end of the first round or in the beginning of the second round. You could just tell he was a little more aggressive. Right?
Yeah. And what's weird is not what's weird. What I picked up on in the first round is Mousasi was definitely thrown off from his game plan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Weidman was just he got so worried by the takedowns, and Weidman was doing a nice single leg setup where he was just snapping his head down and scooping the one leg.
Yeah.
And then tripping him up. So I think that was throwing him off, and Mousasi just couldn't get anything off.
And the surprising in the beginning, the first few seconds, first minute or two, he had clean, crisp shots, throwing 1-2 or like counters. But towards the end, he was just throwing haymakers.
Yeah,
like, man,
he's just like F it.
Yeah, it was weird to see that.
Yeah.
I don't typically in the early. I didn't expect to see that.
I think Weidman turned it into a scrappy fight.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, let's scrap. Like, I feel like Mousasi is one of the most well-rounded fighters, not just He can grapple. He could stand up. But I think he could fight any style.
True.
If you force him to counterpunch, he'll counterpunch. If you force him to be an aggressive Mike Tyson style fighter, he'll do it. If you force him into a rock'em sock'em fight, he'll do it.
Down, yeah.
And if you force him into a jiu-jitsu match, he'll do it. His jiu-jitsu setups.
Yeah.
Pulling butterfly guard, trying to sweep from the X guard. Beautiful setups, man.
Really
and
nice.
Like, he's one of the few guys that gets on the ground and has a great answer jiu-jitsu wise to get back up.
That's one thing I wanted to mention too. His jiu-jitsu. He just seemed super calm. Wherever Weidman wanted to take it, he seemed really calm, man. No matter what he did.
So shout out to anybody out there who's using the X guard in MMA. Take a page out of Mousasi's book. And try the X guard. So second round starts. Same thing starts to happen, but Mousasi gets a little bit more aggressive. Tries to impose his will with the
even goes for a takedown. Even goes for a takedown. They end up on the cage, I believe. It was some weird scramble.
I think he started the round with a takedown.
Yeah. I think he caught him with a few shots, hurt him, shook him, and then wanted to capitalize.
And then, of course, he's hanging on the fence for 5 seconds. The ref moves it back to the center.
That threw me off.
What kind of bull crap was that?
Yeah, that threw me off. What ref was that? He usually doesn't mess up like this. I don't remember.
Was it Dan Mergliata?
I think it was.
Poor guy. He got put in a bad spot.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Especially with the change too, the rule change. I can't really.
I mean, it's not his fault, but so we'll go over it. So
they break him
Weidman
up.
Clearly won the first round.
Yeah.
Second round, it was pretty even, but it honestly looked like
it was going towards Mousasi.
Yeah, Mousasi was picking up the momentum.
He was catching him. Then all of a sudden, he stuffs it, grabs him by like his by the lats because that's what he was doing.
Like he had two overhooks on the arm.
Yes.
So he's reaching below the armpits. And
Weidman's hands are down, lifts up a little bit. The first one you knew it was legal if you knew the new rule set. But the second one, if they didn't show the replay, you weren't too sure if that was legal or not.
Dude, even when they showed the replay the first couple times, you were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They had to show the frame by frame like slow-mo version.
Yeah, and different angles too to really show. But after that, you realize, oh, they were legal, whatever. I think the mix-up there, if you guys didn't watch it, the mix-up was Mergs or whoever the ref was gave Weidman 5 minutes to recover. Weidman was sitting down, kind of recovering from the shot that he actually thought was illegal. Yeah. So the commish comes in, or whoever the doctors come in. Yeah. They're talking. I think it was Big John McCarthy tells Mergs that it was legal
because the ref in New York cannot review through replay.
Yeah. So
that was a big issue.
Yeah, that was an issue too. So what's supposed to happen is that when they tell you that it was illegal after they tell them it was a legal hit, they should
legal or illegal
and a legal.
Okay.
So he I'm sorry for everyone.
Capital A legal.
So it was a legal hit. You should get the fighters back up and start the fight again. But I guess that's where the mix-up was, where the doctor was like, no, we can't let this.
Let me interject.
Yeah, please.
I think here's what's man, I can't speak today. Yeah. Here's what went wrong for Chris Weidman. And Mousasi kind of pointed it out. The two knees happened, right?
Yeah, he milked it.
He milked it. It was classic NBA flop. Oh, my head. If he wasn't sitting down the whole time, that's why the docs were like, this guy can't fight. Yeah. He was sitting down for 3 minutes. Yeah. He must be concussed. He must be in bad shape.
Yeah.
If he got hit with those two knees, here's a good example. When somebody gets hit in the groin in MMA, right? Girl or guy, but usually guy. It's a little bit more
relevant,
deteriorating for a guy to get hit there. Sometimes they just they get hit, they wince, they look at the ref, they turn around, and then like 10 seconds later they're like, nah, I'm good. Let's go. And the ref just doesn't bother with it. Mm-hmm. But then when a guy drops to his knees and falls to his shoulder, the ref's like, wait, here, take 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And they make a big deal about it. And then if the guy's like incapacitated because of it, he's going to take away a point.
Yeah.
So it's the classic case of milking it.
Yeah.
And I believe if Weidman didn't try to milk it,
it wouldn't bite him in the butt.
It wouldn't be, the ref would have just restarted it.
And the doctors would have been like, oh, he's okay. He's okay. He's good to go. Yeah. I think that's where the mix-up happened. But, yeah, man, you can't blame. I hate how they're booing Mousasi the whole time. Yeah. Even though Rogan was clearly on, like, kind of trying to defend him. Like, guys, it was illegal.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You're in New York.
Oh, true.
You know, the Weidman crowd. Yeah.
That's
a great Weidman, he's just a likable guy.
Yeah,
Mousasi, he's still...
He's on the fence.
He's on the fence.
He's one of those, like, he's just an underrated fighter. No one really pays attention to him much.
Yeah.
I think
Not yet.
not with like the hardcore fans, but with like, just whatever fan.
And here's another thing that sucks. Weidman loses 3 in a row, and his third in a row is like this weird thing.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to lose 3 in a row, and then granted, you don't want to lose. But if you're gonna lose 3 in a row, that third fight, at least it be like this, where it's like controversial. Hey, in the people's eyes, he didn't really lose. It should have been maybe a no contest or just restarted. And in Mousasi's side, this guy is up for a title shot. He needs a surefire win against Weidman. This was his finally he gets a shot at a big name guy in the UFC. And if he beats this guy decisively, he's a prime candidate for the belt.
He should, man.
And then what happens?
Yeah.
I
don't think he should. I think they're gonna do the rematch, and he was saying in Holland, just because money wise, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and timeline wise.
Yeah, but man, I really wish he would get the title, the next title shot. But you just
Here's the thing. I'm not saying if he won, he would have got the next title shot. What I'm saying is, it sucks this ending sucks because he was on track. Finally, this was his big break.
Yeah.
And he needed this fight, and he needed to win this fight decisively. So it got taken away from him. But on the bright side, the weight class is held up by GSP and Bisping, and that fight is not going to happen till like late summer anyway. So we have months. They can easily reschedule this for a month from now, and things will be fine.
Yeah.
Instead of them waiting for this weekend, and then let's say the winner of Jacare Whitaker fights the winner of that fight.
True.
It's like just let them rematch. Winner of Jacare Whitaker fights Yoel, and we figure it out from there.
No, we're good to go.
We figure it out from there.
Man, it's just crazy how stacked the middleweight.
It's so stacked,
card
man.
is, man. Yeah. From where we talked about it last week, from where it was before to now, man, it is.
Speaking of the middleweight division, what do you do now? Because Kelvin Gastelum got pulled from the Anderson Silva fight.
That's a bummer.
He tested positive for elevated levels of cannabinoids.
Yeah. Smoking the weed.
Smoking the ganja.
But
so
man,
dumb. But whatever. He got pulled.
Yeah.
And this was like a post-fight from his last fight.
Yeah.
I hope they don't take away that Vitor win from him.
That sucks.
But anyway, so
they better not. The way what he did,
he
dispatched him.
Yeah. So what do you think? Who do you think they put Anderson against? I know Anderson was suggesting Uriah Hall.
I was just gonna say Uriah Hall.
Yeah. That
fight
never happened.
Exactly. That's the only reason. And Uriah Hall is, I think he's coming off a loss too, right?
Yeah,
so they both
have a couple losses.
Yeah.
No, but Anderson's coming off a win. Uriah Hall's coming off a couple losses. I think you put Uriah Hall against somebody he can beat to get him back on the win column, to get his confidence back up. And I think you put Anderson versus anybody. You could put Anderson versus Mousasi right now.
Yeah. That would be good.
Right? Mousasi wants it, beat the former champ.
I would like
Anderson wants it, beat Mousasi. Weidman, sorry, you lost.
Yeah, you got to climb back up.
And here's the thing. I hate the way Weidman lost, but how did the fight end? You got clobbered in the head with 2 knees.
Yeah, I and you did milk it. Like, I honestly think he did milk it. Just
and
a little
what
bit.
if he really was hurt?
Yeah, and what Rogan said too. It comes back to what he says. He hates interviewing people who got their bell rung, because it just puts him in a tough spot again. Like he put.
But I don't know if his bell was rung. Because he was either milking it and his bell wasn't wrong, or he wasn't milking it and he was concussed.
Like, I always feel bad just because you could tell he really thought that it was an illegal knee to the head, and then when they put it on replay, just like, well, at least he took it like a man. Like, I guess I was wrong or whatever.
Now here's the thing: if the ref never stopped it, he got hit with those 2 knees and the fight kept going.
Okay,
what was gonna happen? He would have just kept fighting.
True.
So that's why everybody in sports, you can't be bent on what the ref says. Just keep fighting. Just want to fight. Just want to fight. Don't think about, he might get disqualified. I might get disqualified. No, just keep your eyes set on continuing the fight
and finishing the fight, man.
Yeah, sometimes you're gonna get screwed over.
There's so many things that could go wrong against you. The ref, the commish, the judges.
Yeah.
Don't put it in any of their
hands. And then the
man.
other guy sometimes will get away with something he shouldn't be doing. I don't want to call it cheating. But
trying to game
the system. And that's it's part of the game, right? Yeah. And not everybody's bad for doing it. Sometimes just reaction by accident.
Yeah, we all have different
Sometimes you grab the fence out of human nature.
Yeah.
By
Just instinct.
Just instinct.
Yeah.
And you can't blame a guy for doing that. Sometimes a guy's going to poke you in the eye by accident because that's just the way he's fighting.
Yeah.
Sometimes a guy's going to kick you in the groin by accident because he has bad aim.
Yeah.
Or you walk into it.
It
But
happens.
It happens. And you can't think when that happens, I got this. I'm going to win this fight because he's going to get disqualified. No, you should want to continue fighting. I never want to win.
Off that.
Yeah,
Nah.
or they should think, I never want to win off that.
I would never want to win
That
like
will
man.
never help your record
Yeah.
and your momentum in the division if you win by DQ.
And that'll never win over fans.
Nope.
You never want to see that. Even if you lose in honor, we appreciate that a lot more, right?
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Okay, well, let's move
to
on.
the next one, man. Cormier, Rumble Johnson. That was
Wild. Wild.
my jaw was dropped the whole
Yeah,
time. I was like,
yeah.
I can't believe this fight is going the way it did.
Yeah, weird.
Weird, man. Really weird.
Johnson was winning that first round, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, he starts to grapple Cormier, the wrestling extraordinaire.
Yeah.
And he
tank.
clocked him a couple times, broke his nose.
With that kick.
Oh, my God.
And then
Now
he tried
he-
to grapple with him, man.
Now, here's where he went wrong. You're fighting fire with fire. In the beginning, it's going to work for you. So I guess in the beginning, it can work for you because it throws the guy off.
That's
But
what
eventually, you're in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're in the deep blue sea. You might throw the shark off by biting him.
Yeah,
but
punch
if
him in
you
the nose.
still
But when
if you still swim with him, he's gonna bite you back. Eventually, he's gonna
he's
get
gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
I really thought, I was like, okay, Johnson's gonna give him a different look just to threaten him, like we always talk about. The threat of the takedown.
Mhm.
Okay, good. You got that down. And then he still continued in the second round. I'm like, what are you doing, man? I
Yeah.
thought he was gonna pepper that nose a little bit more,
Oh, yeah.
man.
I thought he was going to come out the second round, try to grapple him a little bit more,
Yeah.
and then release him from the fence. And
Yeah.
now he's got Cormier by a string.
No, he just wanted to grapple the whole time.
And-
I really wish I knew what was the game plan going into that.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
what-
it was a good game plan for what was happening.
Yeah.
Just like Anderson used to try and do. He used to, kind of keep his hands down,
Yeah.
taunt a little,
Mhm.
get people to overcommit, and then once he got them
all over
hesitating,
the place. Yeah.
he unleashes in the second round. Or in the end of the first. So
Or whenever he gets mad.
yeah. So that's what happened when he fought Weidman. He was exceeding his limit to do
Mhm.
that, and Weidman eventually caught him.
Cormier.
I'm talking about Anderson and Weidman.
Oh, Weidman. I'm
so
sorry.
I'm relating
Yeah,
that to
yeah.
that.
Okay.
So
okay,
that's
okay.
what happened in this fight. I believe eventually you're
It's gonna catch up,
yeah.
man.
And Cormier just was patient. He's like, all right, you try to grab me. You might get more tired than I am,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pick up on your mistake. And that's what happened.
he did,
They
man.
scrambled back up. Anthony Johnson went for a knee that was clearly a trap.
Yep.
If you're watching the fight, it was clearly a trap. Cormier could have closed that distance. He
Mhm.
could have went belly to belly. He could have gotten closer with the clinch. He didn't. He left his belly open.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Johnson took the bait. He threw a knee. Cormier grabbed that knee, took him down, and that's all she wrote.
Light work, man. I feel bad, man. I did.
I don't.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Why do you feel bad?
No, I just want to see a better fight. Honestly,
It was a good
no,
fight,
no,
though.
I'm more. Yeah, no.
You were just looking for a knockout.
I was looking for a knockout, man.
Uh,
It was just so funny. I didn't think it was gonna happen. Just not Rumble Johnson was just one of those, not one trick pony, but
his trick is bigger than everybody else's
yeah,
trick,
that's
though.
a big ass pony.
He's
That's
like
like
a-
a thoroughbred,
Dude, he's
pony.
like a one-trick pony at the circus, but everybody is paying the ticket to see that pony. They don't care about everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool that you have it, but
Mhm.
I'm coming for that.
And it still looked like he was going for knockouts, like
Yeah.
every single kick. It just looked super stiff, even though he's working with Henry Hooft or whatever.
Well, he's a stiff guy.
Yeah,
He's just so
He's just-
muscular.
yeah,
And I think with stiffness comes power sometimes.
that's true.
And
Good
he's
point.
just like, you look at him throwing punches and you're like, man, this guy could be a little looser.
Yeah,
But you can't
You gotta
blame
take
him
it to go
because
with
he's
the-
knocking
yeah.
people out.
Yeah,
He's knocking
that's a great
people out.
point. It works.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, and then after that, so Cormier gets him with, I think, a rear naked again. Another rear naked, and then all of a sudden you see Anthony Johnson like looking for his coaches,
That was
which we can
sad.
get it to.
That was sad. He was like, where's my coaches?
Where's
I thought he was
Henry?
going to cry.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
Henry?
Where's Henry at?
Everyone was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, so if you guys weren't there, if you didn't hear, Anthony Johnson puts his gloves off, takes off his gloves, and retires. I don't think does he take off his gloves? He doesn't, right? That was just Patrick Cote.
Yeah, I think Patrick Cote.
So Anthony Johnson's looking for his coaches. All of a sudden, you could see he's getting like teary-eyed or whatever, and just announces that like he has a different opportunity somewhere else, and that he's finished. He's done. He's retiring, whatever. Look to thank his coaches. I think one of the coaches got back in, but Henry Hoof wasn't there to be found.
I wonder where he was. Maybe he was emotional.
Was he emotional? Was he mad that he didn't follow the game plan? There's so many.
Maybe that, yeah.
Right?
There's and so many. But he knew. Anthony Johnson said he told everybody that he was retiring.
Yeah. That's why I hope he gets on Ariel Helwani's podcast and they get deeper.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll tell you one thing. If you didn't hear the retirement speech, Anthony Johnson is the classiest guy in the world.
No, he is, man.
The classiest guy. And he just, like, you couldn't help but get emotional.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, he's done with fighting, and he's just tired of the grind. He's not into fighting anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's in the prime of his career, but he's like, I got some other stuff I want to get into.
Yeah.
And he just thanked everybody. Again, he gave Cormier his props. He even gave John Jones his props.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do it. He's like, keep your head up, man. He's like, I know a lot of people are saying, keep your head. He didn't have to say that.
That really speaks volumes of who Anthony Johnson is, man.
Classiest guy in the world.
Very classy. And then we get into and then we get to DC.
Yeah.
And you know what I really like? I like how DC's embracing it.
Finally.
He's like, you know what? You guys don't like me? Fuck it.
Yeah.
You guys don't need to like me.
Yeah.
I'm making money because I'm making money. I have the championship belt.
Listen, bruv, we gonna fight, bruv. And he's like, I like what this guy says about his one hit. It's cool, but you ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah. That was cool,
dude.
man.
He picked a fight with Jimmy Manuwa.
Yeah.
And he clowned him.
He clowned him, and then he clowned John Jones, man. He goes, get your grades up, and then I'll bring you back to class or something like that. Academics.
He said, get your and he smiled saying it. He was playing, get your academics up, and I'll bring you back to school. Something like that.
That was a line.
Oh.
That is...
you could tell it was planned because right after he said it, he looked at the camera and smiled. I was like, oh, man, finally Cormier.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That was perfect.
Because he didn't do it too extreme.
Yeah.
It was perfect. What I like, too, is poor Corey Anderson. Clown Corey. He's like, listen, he's talking to...
I like Corey Anderson.
But you beat Corey Anderson. And he apologized to Corey Anderson. He was just like, I didn't mean disrespect, but what I was saying is he's inexperienced.
Yeah.
And you can't compare Corey Anderson to Daniel Cormier to me. So, listen,
shots fired, man.
Shots were fired.
I bet you right now the crowd is starting to like him.
Yes.
Because he doesn't care. He's like, you know what? You don't like me?
Yes.
F it.
Yes.
You don't need to like me, and let me clown these guys while I'm here. Let me clown these dudes.
Yeah. And everybody wants to say, "Oh, he went WWE on us." No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He went Daniel Cormier on us.
He did. Yeah.
He finally just said, I'm going to be Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what's on my mind, and I'm not going to care. I'm going to laugh as I do. I'm going to smile. I'm going to make jokes.
Let me embrace it.
Let me embrace it.
You could tell how comfortable he is in his skin now, man. He doesn't need anyone to like him or whatever. So man, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of hope John Jones takes a little page from this book. It's just like, we just want to see who you are.
Yeah. Well, John Jones started to do that. That's why people loved him. But then he got busted for whatever.
Stop getting busted, man.
Yeah.
Get your academics up. Yo, that was one of the greatest lines I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That one. What was Brock Lesnar's line?
After the can he see me now?
Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah.
One of those moments. I'm like, I won't forget, just because it was such.
He was like, I'm gonna slap my girl on the ass and drink a beer,
drink a Budweiser, something like that. Yikes. Classic, So.
But that was one of the classic lines out. It was as classic, almost as classic as "I'm not surprised, mother."
Cynthia tried to take that.
The original,
the original
when
Nate
he said
Diaz.
it was like, "Oh my God, that was the most perfect line for the most perfect moment
in the world."
Yeah,
I agree.
Oh man, good night of fights.
Yeah, great, crazy card, man. So I will take it. What do we got next? What card do we have next?
We have the UFC on Fox. Demetrius Johnson versus Wilson Heath.
There you go. We could talk about that one on the next podcast.
Okay.
Are we good to go?
Is there anything else? Do we have any announcements?
That's all I really
just
want
as
to
usual,
talk about.
guys, go to our website if you want to support us, buy our gear. We have some hoodies out.
Dope ass hoodies. Don't just say hoodies, man. They're dope, man.
They're pretty cool.
Great job.
We have a zipper one. We have a pullover one. We have some shirts available. Just show us some support.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Speaking of support, man, thank you guys. I actually wasn't sure if people like rated us or commented, but when you mentioned, I look back, I'm like, man, it's cool. Like, it's a great feeling to see like people like appreciating the work. Yeah, man. So thank you guys. If you guys can keep showing love, like rate us. Leave a comment.
Yes.
Even more appreciate it. The rating's cool. You could do that, but when you write a comment, it really means a lot to us, man.
Absolutely, guys. And we're planning. Okay. Please add. Okay. Well, I just checked my phone as I was reading stuff.
Yeah.
Please. I can't believe. Oh, we are gonna do a contest soon.
Nice.
We're just getting the advertisements ready, the graphics ready. But we're gonna do a small contest soon on our Instagram, an Instagram giveaway. I'm announcing it now, and it's gonna be a show the armbar contest.
Ooh.
So basically, we're gonna have people upload their best armbar video.
Dope.
It could be in competition. It could be you demoing it for the camera. And you're going to hashtag show the armbar contest. We're going to pick our favorite after a week or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person's going to win a hoodie.
Dope.
Maybe we'll pick a second place too. F it. Let's go crazy.
Let's go.
Let's go crazy.
Let's give the people what they want.
So we're just trying to, give back.
Yeah.
And like always, guys, we appreciate you. Keep a lookout soon. We're going to have our Show the Art Academy online website, and that's going to be a subscription-based website. We're going to have instructionals on jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, yoga. Together, man. We're going to put a lot of fun stuff out there. Fitness, if Ames isn't too busy with his baby boy.
Shoot, it was getting close, but keep going.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys. Keep liking us, keep following us, keep sharing us, and we'll keep providing these good, clean episodes.
Sometimes clean.
We out.
Semi-dirty. Peace.